Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to be talking about fair launch, the importance of it, and the misconception behind fair launch. Before we get into it, as always, let's look at price action. So to begin, Bitcoin currently is having a bad day. It's been having a bad week overall. It's down to 28,725. And personally, I have not bought one single Bitcoin over 30K because I just don't want to buy it over 30K. I'd rather buy it under 30K. So I'm consistently doing my strategy, which is buy every single Monday, no matter what. I don't care. If it's at 30K on Monday, then so be it. But ultimately, usually on Mondays, the market is down. Typically, Mondays and Wednesdays are like the days that I've noticed that the markets are typically down. I think it's way better to have a strategy to simply just buy and dollar cost average weekly than trying to time when to get in and out and dealing with the fact that you have to pay taxes if you have a good profit and all that stuff. I'm not about that. I'm about long-term investing and creating long-term wealth. Let's get into Kaspa. Today, Kaspa's up 13% at the moment. It's trying to battle this 25 area on the chart. So as I said before, we're going to most likely touch this consolidation zone over here at the 2-2. We did that, and it looks like Kaspa's trying to hold that and not fall below. If we fall below, then we will see it go way lower, probably all the way down to the 1916 area back in this consolidation area. We had a really good floor right here. But it looks like we're trying to create a floor in this area, which is good for Kaspa long term. Over the past 24 hours, we are up 13% on the market cap and down 25% on the volume. The volume is very, very low right now, which is very interesting. Usually our volume ticks up to 30 million when we're starting to really, really pump again. But I don't want pumps. I want strong, consistent growth over a long period of time. All right, so let's get into this topic about fair launch and why there's a misconception behind it and also why it's important. So if you have not read Jonathan's articles on Medium, I highly suggest that you go ahead and check those out. I myself also have a Medium account, and if you want to go check out my profile, it's also Kaspa Silver on there. I have one article out so far, so if you want to check that out too, please do so. So, in which I love my truly, truly fair. In this article, Jonathan is talking about fair launch and how Kaspa is a fair launch coin. Now, mind you, this was released December 13th, 2020. So when we're reading this, there's going to be some things that are going to seem like it's off and not exactly how Kaspa is described today. And that's because things changed as we got closer to the launch of Kaspa. So to begin, DAG Lab is a for-profit entity whose business model is based on mining Kaspa. DAG Lab is additionally funding many core Kaspa devs and researchers. So DAG Labs, I explained all of this in one of my previous videos called The Origins of Kaspa, asking that question, Kaspa a scam, because of this DAG Lab situation. DAG Labs was a company meant to originally mine Kaspa using ASICs that they were going to be building in the launch of Kaspa. This totally failed. But at this moment when Jonathan's writing this, it's currently not failing at the moment. So Kaspa contains no pre-mine or founders rewards. At the same time, Kaspa is neither attempting nor pretending to be a fair launch coin, as the term fair is subjective, too broad, and absurd. Early and latecomers are at odds and cannot be co-satisfied. Bitcoin is extremely unfair to people born in 2030. And I really like this paragraph right here where he just talks about fair and how it's subjective and too broad, and it's really, nothing's ever fair in life. You know that saying, nothing's ever fair. And really it's not. I mean, if you were born after 2008, it wasn't fair that you're not even able to invest into Bitcoin until you turn 18, because Bitcoin is something that is a commodity that you have to invest in, but you have to be a certain age. So it's not fair. I could sit here and say it wasn't fair that I couldn't invest into Bitcoin when it was at $1,000 because I wasn't 18 yet. So is fair really fair? I mean, ultimately, no. Satoshi was able to mine 1.1 million coins. I described this in this video over here as well, that Satoshi had the opportunity to mine 1.1 million coins. And it's the same concept over here where Jonathan has DAG Labs and they're creating mining ASICs so that they could mine Kaspa when they launch it fair in quotation marks. But let's keep reading. Let's see over here. So in contrast, Kaspa is a community launched coin. Community distribution is a better term than fair launch. Fair is an extremely subjective term. In my opinion, reducing or eliminating team rewards isn't always fair. Community distribution more accurately explains that the token distributions heavily favor the community. So the goal is that early members would be able to secure themselves allocation of Kaspa with some degree of certainty and enjoy a low inflation rate on their holdings. A mechanism to achieve this would need to let the market price let the market price the opportunity rather than the core devs price it. Tune the inflation parameters in accordance with the size of the community as represented by some verifiable quantity. So over here we see DAG Labs will oversee a pre-launch customization of ASICs that will support a hash function specific to Kaspa, providing a head start on mining. This right here did not happen. DAG Labs failed at being able to produce this and ran out of money. And again, it only received about $8 million from Polychain, and Polychain is invested into Kaspa, $8 million, which is literally, they have about less than 3% of the whole entire supply of Kaspa. So it doesn't really matter. Kaspa ended up being launched fairly. No one was able to pre-mine at all, nothing like that. People were able to mine after it was launched, and obviously the creators had an advantage because they were the ones that created Kaspa. So obviously they joined in on mining it. But the important thing about being fair is the fact that anyone has the opportunity. Anyone had the opportunity to mine Kaspa when it got launched. The important thing is that there was no chance of anyone mining it before it was launched to the public, when anyone can have the opportunity. So that's really the importance of being fair. Fair launch, meaning that when it gets launched, anyone has the same exact opportunity as even the people who created it and even the people who did not create it. As long as you were able to discover Kaspa at that time, you had the same opportunity as anyone else. Sadly, I didn't know about Kaspa when it first got launched, so I wasn't able to go into it. Is it not fair because of that? No, it got launched fairly. And this is the same way as Bitcoin. For anyone to try to say that Kaspa is not fair, or it's not like Bitcoin, I mean, Satoshi mined 1.1 million coins in the beginning when barely anyone understood Bitcoin, barely anyone was able to get in on it. He was able to mine all these coins. Is that a pre-mine? Can you consider it a pre-mine? No, I don't think so, because either way, Satoshi's never sold those coins. And it's the same over here. Satoshi has all the right to sell the coins. If he sells the coins, it really doesn't change anything with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is set in stone and it's backed by the security. It's backed by the fact that no matter what happens, these nodes and everyone running the Bitcoin network are going to continue running it. Whether or not Satoshi comes back, sell his coins, it doesn't matter. He could sell what he wants. People are just going to buy that right back up because Bitcoin is here to stay. And this is the same concept with Kaspa. Kaspa was launched. When it got launched, just like Bitcoin was launched, Kaspa had people being able to mine it and get funds and buy into it before majority of the other people, which is exactly what Satoshi had. So if they want to sell their stuff in the future, by all means, go ahead. It's free market. That's the whole point of it being a fair, in quotation mark, kind of coin. The important thing is that we understand that we are not looking like all the other coins which have huge problems. And as always, I like to bring this picture up to show you guys the initial token allocations for all these different coins. You have the public sale over here for Ethereum being this much right here. 20% went to insiders and foundations and more. So it's clearly over here they're funding themselves with their own coin, and technically it's just a company now. It's just a software company some tech company trying to make a coin, get around being a security, and then they're funding themselves with the coin because they got all these coins in the beginning without anyone else having that same opportunity. If you were to put a pie chart of Kaspa here, it would be all blue, and it would say public sale. Public sale, meaning that anyone could have got it, anyone could have mined it. It's 100%. At the same time, anyone could have done it. And as you can see, all these other coins here have the same issues. Bitcoin and Kaspa, in my opinion, are the only one that are truly, truly fair. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion about fair launch and why it's important and a little bit of the misconception behind it. But with all that being said, thank you so much for 189 subscribers. We've been growing really, really well. We make a video every single day on this channel. So if you guys like that, please consider leaving a like on this video and subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one.